Avengers Infinity War. There were a lot of things that I wanted to talk about with this movie. Obviously, I think it's great. I loved it. And I was going to talk about things like, oh, I'm glad I didn't watch the trailers because, oh, look, they showed that and that and that. But all that aside, what I want to hone in on is Thanos and how they made a supervillain so important to the story, where you actually kind of cared more about his mission rather than the mission of the heroes. Which you could argue it either way, but they gave him so much screen time that you started to understand what his mission was on a deeply emotional level. And I mean, spoiler warning, I'll put this in the title of the video, but spoilers. You know, when he has to go get the Soul Stone and he realizes that he needs to sacrifice the quote-unquote only thing he's ever loved, Gamora, he does it. He almost doesn't think twice about it. And that's the moment where you start to realize Thanos isn't just some guy who wants to blow everything up and kill everybody. Sure, he wants to kill 50% of the population, but that doesn't mean that he does it because he's malicious. He believes that he's being benevolent to the world, to the universe. And you start to get on board with where he's coming from. While I'm sure no one would really want to do that and follow through with his mission, what he wants to do, you start to understand where he's coming from. And I think that in a movie that's juggling such a huge cast and so many different characters, I can't believe they actually managed to not only give those characters enough screen time and tell their story, but also tell the villain story. And I think I remember hearing years ago, before Infinity War was even in production, that they wanted to make this movie, a Thanos story. And I think they succeeded. Like I said, I mean, you start to understand really why he's doing what he's doing, and you may not want to agree with what he's doing, but at least you understand it, and that's really the goal of writing a good villain. So yeah, there were a lot of things that I loved about Infinity War. I loved all the action sequences. I actually cared about Doctor Strange in a weird way. I thought he was cool as hell. I mean, I saw Doctor Strange the movie, and I thought I did not think highly of that movie, but in Infinity War, I'm like, wow, he's kicking ass. He's cool. He's awesome. When he split himself into a bunch of different images of himself, I thought that was awesome. I thought it was awesome when he was using portals so that other teammates could jump through the portals and sort of hit him and kick him, like when Spider-Man was doing that. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff that I could go on and on and about how cool this movie was. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. I think that the problem is that if you haven't seen most of the follow-up movies, Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Thor Ragnarok, I think those are the primary movies. The Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously. You need to see those, but if you have seen those, if you've been following along this 10-year journey, then it's a really, really, really great payoff.